Hi, I'm Debi Peverill, and you're listening to one of a series of posts that we're doing on profitability. Today we're talking about a fairly simple concept. There's been many books written about how to make more money in a business, but there are really only two strategies. All of the differences come about in the implementation of these strategies. So the two strategies that I'm talking about, one is to increase your revenue, and the other is to decrease your expenses. Any combination of those two things will increase your profitability, which sounds simple, and in some ways it is, but you've got to figure out how to do those things. So we have a post on increasing revenue, and we have a post on decreasing expenses. What this post is about is just the highlights. So if you are looking to increase your sales, and generally speaking, that's one of the easiest ways to increase profitability, because it's easier to increase sales than it is sometimes to decrease expenses. Expenses are harder to move. So how do we do it? Well, you could increase your price, just like that. Just increase it by 10%, and theoretically you make 10% more, unless you lose some customers because your price is too high. Another option is to find new customers at your existing prices. Just increase your revenue by selling more to different people. You also could find new markets. Are you doing retail when you could do retail and wholesale? Are there other geographical areas you could go to? Could you offer your product digitally, virtually, rather than in person, or as a specific item? Can you do that? Well, that increases your possibilities of revenue. Could you get another distribution channel? Are you doing something on Amazon? Could you also be doing it on eBay? Okay. So think about all the different ways you can increase your sales. And again, there's a post on that. Another option is to reducing your expenses. And a number of things here. First of all, I would want to make sure you were looking at your income statement frequently so that you understand what your expenses are. And in that way, you're not being blindsided by some expenses that are going up and you weren't paying attention. Of course, if you use less of anything, you're going to have lower expenses. So are there ways in your business to reduce waste or to reuse things? Could you do some things internally that you are actually paying other people to do? Or, on the other hand, could you actually sub out some stuff you're doing internally because there are people who do it better than you do, and possibly for a lower price? And you'll see this when some of the other posts, but if there's something you're doing you're not particularly good at, you might be better off by doing the stuff you are good at and hiring someone to do the things you don't want to do. I also would suggest that you get quotes for any items you're spending money on, because if you do get a quote, then odds are it'll be lower than if they have the impression that you didn't even ask how much it would cost. Okay? You should ask for a discount if you are dealing with any suppliers and you feel like you're giving them a significant amount of business. Then you should be getting some kind of loyalty discount from them, or they can always say no, but if you ask, you're no worse off than you were before you asked. So this post is just reminding you that when you're trying to make more money, there are two main ways to do it: by increasing your revenues or by reducing your expenses. And again, we've got other posts on this.